Hello and welcome to Box to Board. Now tonight what we're going to do is we are going to look at things from the flood, a beginner's guide to how to understand and make sense of the sheet, the character sheet from things from the flood. And there's a few bits that are different to Tales from the Loop, but basically it's the same beastie. So first thing to notice in this one, I haven't put in things like name and favorite song and description because those are free to the players to do. And I've also put a lot of these bits with others because this is one that actually I've aimed at somebody who, it's something I would give to somebody who's starting to play the game, so they can adjust it as they want. So what we're going to do is we are going to have a look at basically how this works in a very simple way. The start is we're going to look at this bit over at the side, so the attributes and the skills. So attributes and skills are the core mechanic of the game, and everything sort of works around that. So what you've got is the numbers represent d6s or six-sided dice. So if you've got number 5, like this character has for body, that means you roll 5 six-sided dice to do something. But you don't just have your attribute, you don't just have your ability, you've also got skills that you've learned along the way, and these are represented down below. So they include things like force, sneak, and move for the body ones. And basically, what you're going to do is you're going to combine numbers. So for instance, if I want to sneak, because it's got sneak and body in brackets behind, I've got a skill of 1 in that, so I've got a little bit of skill in it, so I get 1d6 for that. And then I've got a body of 5, so I add that, so I'm going to roll 5 plus 1 d6 six-sided dice. So that's 6 dice I'm going to roll, aiming for a 6. It can be, you can aim, sometimes you'll have something a bit more difficult, and you'll have to get 2 6s, and occasionally you'll get things where you have to roll to get 3, which might be more difficult. But most of the time, those will involve more than one person working together. So that's kind of how that bit works. Now, you've got in here a number of other bits and pieces to it that can modify things. So for instance, items down along the bottom, the iconic, in this case, I've just given a list of what the possible iconic items are. And I've said, okay, so an iconic item is one that you never lose. So you always get 2 extra dice if you can explain how you're going to use it to do a task. And it never gets lost. It can get lost for a mission, but you'll find it again. And halfway through a mystery, but you'll find it again at the end. But it won't get broken or destroyed. It's yours for the whole campaign. For each session, you'll start with that. So pick it carefully. It's one of those ones you really want to pick extremely carefully. The other thing you can do to increase your chances of pulling something off that's quite difficult, if I can find it, is you can, let's see, is that it? You can use your shame. So you've got something you're ashamed of, and if somehow you can explain how that might be used, it is a tool to use when to get to know your teenager, it says in the rule book. But once per mystery, you may use it to add an automatic 6 to a dice roll, even if you've already rolled the dice and scored no 6s. So if you, for instance, in this case, the character's got my parents have lost their jobs, and say that they're trying to get another character to think well of them, to be sympathetic to them, they might say this out. They say, I'm going to use my shame. I'm going to talk about how my parents have lost their jobs, and I'm going to say that in front of them as a means of winning them over and making them feel sympathetic towards me. That's one of the tricks that you can pull. That's one of the things that you can do, and you'll get a success for that. So that's quite a useful thing to have up your sleeve. It's kind of like a get a deal free card almost. You can also see. You know, the anchors are quite important as well. So you can get hurt in this game, and that will remove dice off you. So if you get upset, scared, exhausted, injured, you lose a dice for each of those. But if you spend some quality time with your anchor, whoever that anchor is, in this case it's coach, you will actually find yourself getting losing a condition, which is a really useful thing to have. The other thing that can actually confer extra dice is a relevant item. Now, these items are different to the iconic items, but say, for instance, you need to climb something and you find a rope. That rope will break or get lost at the end of the mission, but during the mission, it will give you extra dice to do a climbing, to do a climbing task, for instance. So it'll give you at least one, anywhere between 1 and 3, depending on how useful it is and how well you convince the GM that you can use it. At the end of the game, you will be given some experience points for doing different things. So for instance, if you've played by participating, you get some experience points by see if I can find another bit here. I always get this muddled up with it. You can get experience points for doing certain tasks, for role playing well, and there's more detail on that in the game book, but you get experience points for doing things well within the game. So participating is the one that is the easiest one to get. You turn up and play reasonably well, and you'll be okay. But experience is quite important and allows you then to improve your character. So it allows you to get your character higher level in terms of what they can do to gain a few bits and pieces. So you get experience points. We've got the list here. Participating, you get at least 1 XP. Did your problem or relationship get you in trouble? If it does, you can get an XP for that. Were you broken and forced to take a scar? You get XP for that. Did you put yourself in harm's way to resolve a mystery? You get XP for that. Did you learn something new? You get XP for that. So basically, and then you'll find that you will often get XP for just good role playing. No skill may be raised above 5. So you can increasing a skill by 1 costs 5 XP. So you can improve your skills during the game. At the end of the session, basically during the campaign. Scars can get healed if you, let's see. If you have done something heroic or self-sacrificing, put yourself in harm's way during a game session, you get to heal 1 or more of your scars. The players get to decide together if the act was enough to warrant this or not. And you can only do it for the ones you accept. I forgot with scars. So if you accept a scar, you basically then get an automatic 6 as well. So if you take, so every time you become broken, you're physically or mentally scarred by the ordeal. Describe your scar with 1 sentence. It can be a description of the event itself, shot by burglar, description of the scar, what it was. The scar will help you to add depth to your team. And just like your shame, you can activate it to gain the success. So you can say, I've accepted it, I've come to terms with my scar now. And it allows you to then have that, to get that automatic success. After every scar you receive, after the first one, you roll 1 dice. If the result is lower than the total number of scars you have, you're removed from play. So you're out of the game and you have to start a new character. So scars are a big deal in this. You can lose your character. Depending on the situation, different things will happen within the group. See that. We can go through that if it happens. It doesn't happen very often, to be fair. So there's some bits and pieces you can do to modify. So just to refresh it, the first thing you've got is you've got these dice, trying to get 6s on a 6-sided dice. And basically what you want to do is you can you pick the relevant skill, and I'll actually go through those in a moment. and the bit in brackets is the number you add to it from above, and that's the number of d6 dice you're rolling. It's highly unusual to have more than 10 dice in a roll. You can increase your number of dice by using items, and you can get automatic successes by bringing up your shame, using it, or accepting a scar, but you can only accept a scar once ever. Now, let's have a look at what these different skills are, because that will help quite a lot. That'll come in quite a lot. So if we can find it, that would be lovely. The skills are pretty, some of them are very self-explanatory, some of them are a little bit more involved. But basically, sneak means you can sneak. You can hide, you can sneak or steal, okay? If you get one success above what you need, if you get successes above, you can give one success to another team acting at the same time, or a +1 bonus to a later roll relating to that one. Or you might find something unexpected, or more of what you were looking for. Force is the ability to lift heavy things, fight, and endure physically demanding situations. The bonuses are you get one success. You give one if you get more than you need for a particular task. You can give one success to another team acting at the same time, or a +1 die to a later roll relating to this one. So an extra dice, but not success. You can impress, frighten, or humiliate. You can pin your opponent. You can take something from your opponent. Your opponent is not unconscious, or you don't need to roll to overcome the exact same trouble in the future. All of those you get as options. Move is your ability to climb high, balance, run fast, chase somebody, or get away. Bonus allows you again to give them that success to somebody else who's acting at the same time, or to add one bonus die to a later roll, impress somebody, or remain undetected. And tinker is a little bit different. Tinker is the ability to build and manipulate machines and other mechanical items. The GM will tell you what you need in order to build something. Some examples of this are you need a certain item, you need to successfully calculate, you need to successfully comprehend, and then program something. You may need a lot of time. When you have what you need, you roll to overcome the trouble of actually making the thing. If the roll is successful, you write down the object as an item with a bonus of +1. The thing is more durable. If you get a bonus, the thing is more durable than expected. You can add 1 to the bonus, up to 3. The thing is can do more than expected. You can add 1. It is more discreet than expected. You can add 1. For manipulate, this is so the tinker skill can also be used to break, use, or jury-rig mechanical things, pick locks, drive motor vehicles. Sometimes you have to use calculate first to figure out how to do it. And if you do it in that way, you can give us any bonus successes can go to somebody acting at the same time, or you can do it quickly, quietly, or show off. Now, program is the ability to create and manipulate computer programs and electronic devices. So this is a bit like Tinker, but for electronic things. So you can create, in much the same way, there can be a number of steps to that, and the bonuses work on a very similar effect. The program can work better in effect. It can also be used to manipulate electronic items, and has this, including robots, computers, disabling alarms, anything like that. Calculate is the ability to know how technical objects work and how to use them. It could be robots, machines, magnetron ships, androids, or whatever. If you succeed, you get to ask 2 questions. For instance, what is its purpose? How does it work? How can I use it? Who built it? What problems could it cause? And is it illegal? A bonus effect gives you an extra question, and take +1 die whenever you use this information, up to +3. Contact is the ability to know the right person and get in touch with them. You tell the GM who the person is and roll to overcome the trouble of finding them. If you succeed, you find them and they are able to help. If you fail, they don't want to help you, or maybe even want to hurt, humiliate, or make your life difficult. So, bonus effects, the contact has all the right tools with them. The contact may heal one of your conditions, or the contact may bring more people who are ready to help, or you don't have to roll to get in contact with them again during this mystery, or the contact knows something important. Charm is the ability to charm, lie, befriend, and make people do what you want. As always, the GM decides what's plausible to achieve. So bonus effect. So if you get above what you need, they will keep believing you, or they might have formed a lasting relationship. They will take risks to help you, or they might try to persuade others into believing you are frightened, confused, or impressed, whatever you're after, or is infatuated with you. Now, lead is a funny one. Lead is a bit of a funny one. Using the heart and the ability to make your friends work together. And basically what you do, and this is one that can help other people do a task, you roll to overcome trouble, and your successes become a dice pool. In the upcoming scenes, you may distribute bonus dice to the other teams whenever they roll to do things. But only if they do as you say. You cannot give these dice to yourself. If you fail to lead, you must check a condition and ask the other teams how your relationship is hurt. So one success gives you 2 extra dice, 2 successes give you 3 extra dice, and 4 extra dice, so 3 successes give you 6 extra dice. So this is a good thing to have. If you spend time privately with another team giving advice, you may heal one of their conditions. You can roll to overcome trouble. If you succeed, the condition is healed. Bonus effects, you heal an extra condition or you heal one of your own conditions. Investigate. This is the ability to find hidden objects, understand clues, solve problems, or survey the place or situation. If you pass the test, you get to ask 2 questions. What is hidden here and where is it? What does it mean? What has happened here? How can I get into or out or past something? What threats can I perceive here and where is it? If the roll fails, you've misunderstood something, and the GM or somebody's found out about you, or you suffer a condition. I decide. The GM decides. For bonuses, anything above what you need, you get to ask 1 additional question, get +1 on 1 roll when you use the information later. Comprehend. We're nearly there. Comprehend is the ability to have the right piece of information or be able to find it at the school library or some other similar location. The GM will give you the information or ask you to come up with something on your own. If you fail, I'll give you bad news or the wrong information. The GM doesn't have to say what it is. And the bonus effect is you get additional information and a +1 die roll to whenever you use that information later on. Then finally, for empathize, this is the ability to study what makes a person, animal, or conscious robot or android tick and how to find its weakness. You need time to study or talk to the creature or person to use this skill, and then if you succeed, you get to ask 2 questions like, what's their weak spot? How can I make them do something? What do they feel? What do they want? What will they do? Are they lying to me? If you fail, you will receive either bad news or the wrong information. And the GM will not tell you which. If you succeed, you get an additional question and 1 die whenever you use that information as a bonus. I know I've whizzed through that, but hopefully it kind of makes a little bit of sense. So it's a relatively easy system once you get playing it. It can be quite intimidating if you've not played these games before or something like this before. Don't worry about it. All you need to know is your skills. You don't need to worry about everybody else's. And any good GM worth their salt will let you ask questions of them like, can I use move here? Can I use charm here? And they'll let you negotiate a little bit, especially if you're starting out in the game. I hope that's been helpful and I hope it's made sense. So don't forget, if in doubt, if you're not sure how many dice, just look at the skill you want to use and then look at the bit and brackets and add bit and brackets to the skill that's relevant. And if it's left blank, it means it's 0. And then what you need to do is you need to that's the number of dice you're going to roll. So those 2 numbers added together is going to be the number of dice looking for at least 1 6 and often 2, or occasionally 2 and very occasionally 3. Hope that helps, and thank you for watching. And yeah, bye bye.